39 age groups. Notably, Mongolians living in Bulgaria, Laos, and Belarus achieved a 100% voter turnout. However, no Mongolians voted in Cuba during these elections. Here are the top 10 countries with the highest number of Mongolian voters and their respective attendance percentages. The high turnout and active participation of Mongolians both domestically and abroad reflect their robust engagement in the democratic process, emphasizing the importance of each vote in shaping the nation's future.
The first Children's Nadam Festival in Stockholm, organized by the Tuxbiligt Center, celebrated Mongolian culture and heritage in Sweden. Through collaborative efforts with local associations, the festival aimed to instill national pride among Mongolian children while showcasing traditional sports and community engagement.
The Nadam Festival for Mongolian children in the Kingdom of Sweden was organized by the Tuxbiligt Center for the Development of Native Language and Culture. This festival was a collaborative effort between a training center, a non-governmental organization, and an association operating in Sweden. It aimed to pass down folk heritage and instill national pride in the children, who represent the future generation of Mongolia.
The Children's Nadam Festival ended successfully. Our Mongolian National Wrestling Association actively participated in passing on the heritage and culture of Mongolia to future generations. A total of 22 children competed in the wrestling tournament. Considering it was held for the first time, it was a great success.
The festive event featured various sports competitions, including art performances, wrestling, Mongolian archery, ankle bone shooting, running, chess, tug-of-war, and Rubik's Cube. In the national wrestling competition, Irkhis, Bishrilt, and Adzargul secured the top 3 positions among 20 strong competitors. A total of 31 boys and girls registered for the Mongolian archery competition, where Timung, Ornstzik, and Tuxbilig were recognized and awarded for their achievements.
Thank you very much to all the children and parents who participated in the first Children's Nadam Festival organized by the Tuxbiligt Center today. Our archers living and working in Sweden are teaching children and spreading their heritage. Starting from this year, we will also organize archery training for our children living in Sweden. The children participated very actively in this Children's Nadam Festival, with a total of 31 children taking part in the archery competition.
In cooperation with the Mongolian Ankle Bone Shooting Association in Sweden, we aim to promote this sport by having the children compete and successfully participate in the Children's Nadam Festival and the Ankle Archery Training Center, he said.
Many children successfully participated in the Children's Nadam Festival, organized by the Tuxbiligt Center in Sweden. This year's ankle bone shooting competition was more special than previous ones, with children participating very actively and enthusiastically.
In organizing the Children's Nadam Festival, the Embassy of Mongolia to the Kingdom of Sweden, the Mongolian National Wrestling Association, the Mongolian National Ankle Bone Shooting Association, the Mongolian National Archery Association, Slava Photo Studio, Namun Club, Kadoma Center, and the Piano School all cooperated successfully.
Now let's take a look at Mongolian current affairs.
On the occasion of National Clothes Day, the Mongolians in Del Festival will be held at the Shubatar Square on July 9th, 2024, as part of the grand celebration of the Nadam Festival, of the National Nadam holiday marking the 2233rd anniversary of the first statehood in Mongolia, the 818th anniversary of the Great Mongol Empire, and the 113th anniversary of the People's Revolution. The Mongolians with Del Festival aims to promote Mongolian national cultural heritage, original styles of traditional dress, various ethnic Dels, and intangible cultural heritages to tourists visiting Mongolia and offer new products and services. The 19th Mongolians in Del will see participants from the capital city's 9 districts, 21 provinces of Mongolia, the republics of Buryatia, Tuva, and Kalmykia of the Russian Federation, and the Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region of the People's Republic of China wearing their best Dels. During the festival, awards will be granted in the following categories: Best District, Best Enterprise, Best Del Maker, Family in the Best Dels, Man and Woman in the Best Dil, Foreigner in the Best Dil, Man and Woman, and Girl and Boy in the Best Dil. Many exciting events are anticipated, including a national costume show, national games, sale of traditional dils, and Disco with People in Dils, a modern music show for children and youth. As part of a series of events promoting Mongolia and celebrating the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and China, the Embassy of Mongolia in the People's Republic of China organized the second Young Musicians Classical Music Concert at the Mongolian Cultural and Information Center on June 22, 2024. Initiated and traditionally organized by the embassy, this classical music concert featured performances by students from the Classical Music Department of the Mongolian Conservatory, students from international schools in Ulaanbaatar, and representatives from the Central Conservatory of Music in Beijing. The participants performed works by renowned Mongolian composers and masterpieces by world-famous classical music composers. In recent years, Mongolia has been gaining international recognition in classical arts. Through this event, young musicians from Mongolia and China have the opportunity to exchange experiences and learn from each other. It also significantly contributes to the promotion and education of the music and cultural heritage of the nations.
Thank you for staying with us. Now let's take a look at currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Next, our program will turn our attention to foreign news partnered with international news agencies. Israel will continue fighting until Hamas is completely defeated, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Sunday, as he accused the group of being the only obstacle to the release of the remaining hostages held in Gaza.
With a combination of political pressure and military pressure, and above all military pressure, Israel will return all 120 of hostages, the living and the dead alike, said Netanyahu during a cabinet meeting. On Saturday, a senior Biden administration official said the U.S. presented new language to intermediaries Egypt and Qatar aimed at trying to jumpstart stalled Israel-Hamas negotiations. The update comes amid heavy fighting in Gaza City, where Israeli forces have been battling Palestinian militants in the Shijah district over the last week. Israel forces are operating in Rafah, in Shijah, everywhere in the Gaza Strip. According to Netanyahu, every day they eliminate dozens of terrorists. Israel's military on Saturday noted close quarters combat. Elsewhere, thousands of Palestinians who remained in Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah fled Friday for Muvasi, a coastal tent camp designated by the Israeli army as a safe zone. More than 1.3 million Palestinians have fled Rafah since Israel's incursion into the city in early May, while aid groups warn there are no safe places to go. More than 37,800 Palestinians have been killed in the war since it began with Hamas' attack on southern Israel on October 7th, according to Gaza's health ministry, which doesn't distinguish between civilians and combatants in its toll. The ministry said the bodies of 40 people killed by Israeli strikes had been brought to local hospitals over the past 24 hours. The October 7th Hamas attack in Israel killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and another 250 people were taken hostage.
Rescuers carried elderly residents on their backs and evacuated children from flooding in southwestern China's Guizhou province on Saturday. Heavy rains from Friday to Saturday triggered floods in the province, submerging houses and roads and trapping residents.
In Yuping County on Saturday, a family of 5 was stranded in a village house that was surrounded by a flood torrent. Rescuers took more than 2 hours to evacuate them with rope, footage from state broadcaster CCTV showed. In Zhenyuan County in the east of Guizhou, hourly precipitation exceeded 68.7 millimeters on Saturday, causing the Wuyang River to surge and flood the town. Electricity was cut off and transport was disrupted in the county's urban areas, and over 6,000 people were relocated in the region, CCTV reported. On Saturday afternoon, the local government of the Guangdong region, where Jinyuan County is located, raised the flood emergency response to level 2, the second highest alert level. Rainfall is expected to continue until July 2nd, CCTV said.
As Florida's ban on lab-grown meat is set to go into effect next week, one manufacturer hosted a cultivated meat tasting party in Miami. California-based Upside Foods hosted dozens of guests at a rooftop reception in the city's Wynwood neighborhood, known for its street art, nightclubs, and trendy restaurants.
The U.S. approved the sale of what's now being called cell-cultivated or cell-cultured meat for the first time in June 2023, allowing Upside Foods and another California company, Good Meat, to sell cultivated chicken. Earlier this year, both Florida and Alabama banned the sale of cultivated meat and seafood, which is grown from animal cell. Other states and federal lawmakers are also looking to restrict it, arguing the product could hurt farmers and pose a safety risk to the public.
No, it's like eating a chicken breast. I mean, of course, it's cooked nicely with spices, but it's like if you tell me it's cultivated chicken or real chicken, I wouldn't tell the difference.
When you cook it, it like sizzles and cooks just like chicken, which was insane. And then when you go to eat it, it's juicy. It kind of has the same texture as chicken. I mean, as a chef, to see that and see it work and have it taste just like chicken, I mean, it is chicken, but it was just insane.
I think we should be allowed to eat what we choose to eat. I mean, Florida's all about free market and choice and personal choice and everything, personal liberties. Why can't we eat what we want to eat? I mean, if it's bad for us, not that I believe it is, I think the science is proven, but even if it is, why can't we eat it?
Essentially, cultivated meat is meat grown from animal cells. It's delicious meat, the meat we love to eat, and in this instance, we are actually selling chicken. So we've grown chicken from animal cells, and we're selling it to customers that love the product. And because there's a ban going into effect on cultivated meat from July 1st in Florida, we thought, why not give Floridians a chance, the first chance and maybe the last chance in a while, to taste real delicious cultivated chicken.
Cultivated products are grown in steel tanks using cells from a living animal, a fertilized egg or a storage bank. The cells are fed with special blends of water, sugar, fats and vitamins. Once they've grown, they're formed into cutlets, nuggets and other shapes.
Now let's take a look at international current affairs.
A Russian missile attack on a town in the eastern Ukrainian region of Zaporozhye killed 7 people, including 3 children, local officials said on Sunday. More than 30 people were also injured in the attack, according to Zaporozhye's regional military civilian administration. 8 of them were children. The attack on the town of Vilnyansk caused a huge fire and severe damage to residential buildings, critical infrastructure, and vehicles, officials said. Firefighters were seen battling the flames and conducting rescue operations. French President Emmanuel Macron greeted crowds of supporters after voting in Le Touquet, where he has a home, on Sunday. He shook hands and took selfies with dozens of people gathered outside the polling station, where he cast his vote in the first round of an exceptional parliamentary election that could put the French government in the hands of nationalists, far-right parties for the first time since the Nazi era. The outcome of the 2-round election, which will wrap up July 7th, could impact European financial markets, Western support for Ukraine, and how France's nuclear arsenal and global military force are managed. Many French voters are frustrated about inflation and economic concerns, as well as Macron's leadership, which they see as arrogant and out of touch with their lives. Marine Le Pen's anti-immigration National Rally Party has tapped and fueled that discontent, notably via online platforms like TikTok, and dominated all pre-election opinion polls.
Now let's take a look at weather forecast for world major cities. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We will see you on Tuesday with more news and updates. Goodbye.